Odafe Oweh has been one of the better younger defensive linemen in the NFL, and I almost feel like this guy's being slept on because of the fact that he's not really a full-time starter, or at least he hasn't been up until this season. And this season, he has become a full-time starter. He's played well over 600 snaps, and from a production standpoint, Oweh is having the best season of his young career. And today, we're going to break down what this guy has shown on tape. We're going to talk about why I think as this guy continues to develop, he has a real shot to become a top 5 pass rusher in the NFL. You can watch this guy's tape and watch how he's able to utilize different pass rush techniques to ultimately end up winning. Here's a great example of one of the moves he's going to utilize that sometimes goes a little overlooked because it's so quick. So on this play, he's going to set up the right tackle here of the Houston Texans. He's going to utilize a hezzy move right out of his stance. You can see as soon as he gets out of here, he's going to fake to the left and he's going to jump back to the right. And you can see this offensive tackle is going to open up the hips just a little bit. You see that right foot drop back. And that's because of that fake towards the outside. And as soon as he gets this right tackle to drop that right foot backwards, he's going to come back in with a swipe move to the inside. He's going to swipe the hand. And you see him do this perfectly on tape. And with that, he's able to win pretty much right away. The quarterback barely hits that fifth step in the quarterback drop. And Odafe's basically in his face. Just a really, really nice rep. But this guy has a legit pass rush plan. And I think it's sometimes overlooked. And I'm excited to kind of get into what we've seen from Odafe Oweh and just kind of get into the tape. I talk about how this guy's kind of improved this year as a run defender as well. Let's just get right into it. So you guys saw that first move where he's going to hezzy and hit the right tackle with an inside move. On this one, he's going to hezzy, double hand swipe to the outside, and bend the corner. So if you don't slow it down, sometimes you'll miss it a little bit. But let's go ahead and slow it down a little bit and let's talk about exactly what this guy does within this play. So he's going to right out of his stance, hezzy to the inside. And he's going to double hand swipe. So there's the hezzy to the inside. It's a fake head movement. Double hand swipes the hands. And then he's going to bend the corner. And with that, he's going to generate pressure on the quarterback. Now, the quarterback is able to step up. There's not a ton of inside pressure on this one. Keep in mind, you basically have 4-on-3 on the inside. So you're going to be able to kind of handle that. And then the right tackle does get beat. But the quarterback's able to get out of that. Now, this one still ends up in a sack technically. Although it's a 0-yard sack. And really, the quarterback just kind of runs out of bounds. But again, it's a really nice pass rush move, and it's a part of the pass rush plan that Odafe has. And again, there's a lot of different moves this guy utilizes, and I want to just kind of show you guys some of the other moves he utilizes that allows him to be a really, really solid pass rusher. And he lines up over the left tackle and the right tackle, so he's not stuck to only being able to do moves on one side. Here's another one. Now, he does get double teamed on this one, so it's not going to actually generate pressure. But Dan Moore is a pretty good left tackle. Right, I think a lot of people say this is a top 10 to 15 left tackle in the NFL. And Odafe, once again, is going to end up hitting him with the hezzy move. And this time, he's going to end up jumping to the inside. And with that, he's also going to rip. And to me, this is a winning play. Dan Moore's going to get a really insane jump out of here. He's going to hit the landmark. And when you hit the landmark, that means your speed rush probably is not going to win. So it's a great job by Odafe to be able to kind of counter. End up hitting the outside hezzy. Left hand lands on the shoulder pad. Right hand's going to rip. And this right here is a winning spot for the defensive end. If the double team does not end up coming, you're getting pressure onto the quarterback. Maybe you get a sack, maybe you get a quarterback hit. But of course, on this one, you see the left guard's going to end up double teaming, and that's going to stop Oweh. But again, it's a really, really solid pass rush plan by the defensive end. And the thing with Odafe Oweh is he has a ton of different pass rush moves. And he's fine-tuned it, and he's in year 4. So, he's been able to, over the last couple of years, develop these moves. And you're seeing it work, right? Like, you're seeing this guy, as he's playing more snaps, actually generating a ton of pressure. Here's another one where he's going to end up spinning to the inside. But again, he's going to end up getting the double team. And if the double team's not there, this spin move works. And this spin move generates pressure. And this spin move gets home, most likely. Right? It's just a really, really good move once again. To be able to win, get past the offensive tackle here. Of course, Isaac Small is a pretty good guard. He's going to end up saving the actual sack. But that's a winning rep however you look at it. Because when you're getting double teamed, that means there's 3 other guys in single situations. And you are going to get the quarterback to throw this ball away. But again, this play right here is created by Oweh, right? It's because of that pressure he's going to generally get as he's kind of getting over here to the quarterback. And I want to show you guys a couple more moves that this guy utilizes on tape. On this one here, going up against the right tackle, he's going to do what is called a cross chop. And it's just done really, really, really nicely. To me, it does not get better than this. Now, of course, he doesn't actually get to the quarterback because the quarterback's going to get the ball out super quickly. But think about how quick Odafe ends up beating the right tackle here. Right? And again, it's just a really nice move if you think about kind of what this guy does within this. He's going to step to the inside, although it's not a true hezi. It's a step inside, and he's going to jump outside, and then with the inside arm, he's going to chop down the outside arm, and he's going to pin the elbow with the left hand. To me, that's such a great job right there, and you're beating this tackle. Like, the tackle still has his back turned to Odafe. That's how quickly he ends up winning this rep. But again, not every single win leads to a sack, because sometimes the quarterback has a one-step drop or a three-step drop like on this one, and that means you're trying to get the ball out super quickly. So not every play is going to lead to a sack, but with Odafe, you see the pass rush plan. And the fact that this guy's 6'5", he's super long, he's super quick, explosive, I think there's a real chance that this is one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Like, the guy has elite movement, he has elite technique, and you just don't get that often. Now, if there's one improvement this guy can make, it's really just to continue to add to the frame, continue to fine-tune the bull rush, because I think the bull rush is the one move that Odafe, it works, but it's not super effective. And I think if you're able to add a bull rush move, it really opens things up, right? Because with speed, guys don't have to lean into you. They can kind of just wait for you to do your move. But with the bull rush, you got to brace for that bull rush. You got to drop the hips. You got to lean forward a little bit. And when you do bull rush, to stop that also opens up those speed moves. Now, another part of Odafe's tape that I think is a little overlooked is the fact that this guy's smart and he understands how to set up his pass rush. Now, before we go forward, I want to just take a second to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this channel, because this content would not be possible without Underdog. If you guys have never utilized Underdog before, trust me, man, you guys are missing out. I don't do traditional fantasy sports that often. I did do one league this year, but generally speaking, I'm not really doing it anymore. And that's mostly because of Underdog. Underdog has this game that I really, really enjoy. It's called Pick'em. Essentially, you're going to go out there and just make picks that you think are going to be right. They'll have pretty much every pick you can think of for every player, and they have multiple categories as well. So an example would be, I think Aiden O'Connell is going to throw for 125 yards. And you're essentially just going to pick higher on that, right? I think he'll have more than 125 yards. You might say, hey, Dak Prescott's going to have at least 2 touchdowns, and pick higher on that. You might say Caleb Williams is going to have a rushing touchdown. And some of those stats also give you multipliers, right? So usually for quarterbacks rushing it in, right? That's something most quarterbacks aren't doing every single week. You'll get like a 4x multiplier on that. So depending on the multiplier, depending on how many picks, you can turn $5 into $400, $1,000, right? Whatever it ends up being. Obviously, it depends on the multiplier, but Underdog to me is one of those places that I pretty much do every single week at this point. Very fun. It makes like watching the Jets and the Dolphins without Tua. It makes them interesting, right? So check out Underdog. If you guys have never used them before, it is the best place. Trust me when I say that. Go to underdogfantasy.com, use my promo code that you guys see on the screen, or use the app. I recommend the app. So let's get right back into the content. Now, another part of Odafe's tape that I think is a little overlooked is the fact that this guy's smart and he understands how to set up his pass rush. So when you go up against a guy, you don't want to come back with the same move over and over and over again, but you do want to set him up. So on this play here, what you're going to end up getting is just a straight up rip move. You're not going to get a hezi. You're not going to get a chop. You're not going to get some sort of swipe move or anything like that. You're going to get a straight up rip move right out of his stance. And although it does work, this is essentially him setting this up, right? So he's going to not only be in a wide 9, but as he hits the corner, as he utilizes speed, he's only going to go to the rip move. And with that, the tackle ends up losing. But keep in mind, the tackle now knows that when Odafe gets into this wide 9, he's going to potentially come with a speed rip. And this is exactly what this tackle expects on this one, and Odafe does not hit him with the speed rip. Instead, he's going to hit him with the ghost move. And that ghost move is actually going to draw a holding penalty on this one. This is a really, really good job by Odafe. You're going to see him get out of his stance here. Once again, he's in a wide 9. He's going to get the right hand out into the chest, and he's going to drop the hands off, right? So he's essentially utilizing a ghost move, and the right tackle is going to try to lean into it, thinking here comes the rip move, right? I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to kind of lock in and just force this guy to go upfield. Instead, Odafe hits him with the ghost move, tries to bend the corner, and he's going to end up getting held. And the referees are going to end up calling this. And a couple plays later, he's going to come back with another move, right? And it's just a way to set up guys that you're going up against, right? You come with one move first, and a little bit later on, you hit him with the second move, and then a little bit later on, you hit him with another counter. And once again, you're going to get another play where this guy's going to end up generating pressure. He's going to get out of his stance. He's going to double hand swipe this time, as opposed to utilizing a rip, or as opposed to utilizing the ghost move. And it just works. right? You're going up against the same guy and you're going to just hit him with multiple different moves. And to me, that's a very, very, very underrated aspect of pass rushing. And Odafe has a ton of moves, and he can basically come from any side, which is one of the reasons why he's super versatile. To me, the Baltimore Ravens have a guy that I think has the potential to become one of the best overall defensive linemen in the NFL. And I'm not trying to overhype this guy. I think this guy has real potential and real upside. Now, I do want to say this. Although Odafe has been a lot better against the run this season, I do think he has to just continue to develop the run game. Now, I do understand this guy's not a power-based guy, and although I do want him to continue to add to his frame, I also want him to take those pass rush skills he has and continue to apply it to the run game. And here's a great example of him doing just that. You're going to see him do a really nice job against the left tackle where he's going to just straight up swim over the top. And he got a split zone towards the left. He's going to swim right over the top. He's going to jump the inside. Now, keep in mind, this is the designed run stunt where Odafe has the inside gap, while the safety, I believe that is right there, has the outside gap, right? So again, designed run stunt. And with that, Odafe is going to utilize the pass rush technique. Right? He's going to just swim right over the top. It's super quick. It's super explosive. I want him to continue to do this, setting the edge and blowing plays up. And I definitely also understand that he doesn't play 400 or 500 snaps against the run the way he does as a pass rusher. I want him to continue to develop against the run. And as he does, over the next year or two, continue to put that into his game. I think he's going to become one of the best edge players in the NFL. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing and let me know what you guys want to see on this channel. If there's a player you want me to break down. Roger Rosengarten's one of those guys that I really like. He's one of those guys I may get into here over the next week or two. But let me know if there's anyone else. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.